Hi guys, welcome to my channel. No dusties allowed. This is a dusty free zone. If you're dusty, unsubscribe, unfollow, block me. Block me, please. Today's episode is going to be about how people are always G-checking you. Listen, you know when you're about to turn 25 or when you turn 24, it's like the glaze is lifted over your eyes, the rose-tinted spectacles are not there anymore, your prefrontal cortex developing, and you see the world in a different light. You're like, oh my goodness gracious me, you feel like you've had an epiphany. And I remember hearing people turning 24, 25 saying this, and now that I'm 24 turning 25 in December, I'm like, wow, how did I not see this before? How did I not have these realizations or these epiphanies sooner? It's so crazy. And my friends in their 30s, they tell me, wait till you're 30, Maya. It's even more intense. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I'm having this argument with someone because they're trying to tell me I'm being a snob because I'm saying that the Western world is not safe. But I'm sorry. Like, people are always trying to argue with me, but it's like, okay, I'm not telling you to move to the Middle East. You stay in your dangerous Western world, and I will stay in my safe Dubai. Calling me a snob. Oh, because I like my safety. I like being able to walk alone. I like not having to lock my car, lock my house. I like my car not being broken into. I like my number plates not being stolen. Guys, when I moved to Dubai, I still had a court case because people were stealing my number plates, trying to do a flipping armed robbery or burglary, whatever they was trying to do. Like, that, I'm sorry, but that stuff doesn't happen in Dubai. It actually doesn't. Like, God forbid. Anyways, enough about that. The reason I'm doing this video is because I've actually noticed a lot of people, they're just asking questions and they're just being like nosy parkers and monitoring spirits. For your social class, your financial, where you stand in the hierarchy, where... Actually, let me talk about the patriarchy for 1 second. Guys, how can one man... I had to go for an interview the other day. So I went to the embassy. How can one of the security guys go to me? You go through security, you give your tag or whatever. And I was waiting patiently, turned my head for 1 second because my friend was like talking. And then he's got his hand in my face with my bag. Be attentive. And I was like... And to be honest, I should have known that this establishment was a bit like strange vibes, because from the moment I got there, the person sat outside, like you have to queue, and then one by one, they're like, next, next. The person goes to me, next, next. And there was a guy still stood there, and sorry, but I have manners. I'm not going to barge in front of a guy just because you said next. He's like taking his time, putting his paperwork back in his wallet, whatever. Next! And I was like, confused.com, like, whoa. What I've realised, just because I'm well behaved and I'm well mannered doesn't mean other people are well mannered. And I had this conversation with my sister, with my youngest sister, and I said to her, I used to think everyone was taught manners, and I used to think everyone was taught etiquette and had elocution lessons, and you say please and thank you, and you put the knife here, you put the fork here, and you do this when you finish, and you know, you don't talk over people when they're talking. I said to her, no, but that's how we was raised, because our parents are old-fashioned and that's how we was raised. There's people who are not raised like that. And someone left a comment on my TikTok saying, oh, that's only a British thing to say please and thank you. When you learn about other cultures, you will know. And it's like, I know about other cultures and I know. I don't care if someone doesn't say please or thank you. There's a way you talk to people, the way you carry yourself, your demeanor. Even if you don't say please or thank you and you don't make any facial expression, yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not rude and bombastic. I'm sorry, but what is this raising your voice and like clicking? Like different countries, there's certain things that we would see as rude in the Western world, that is, or the Middle East, that's not rude in other countries. Some countries it's normal to do this to get someone's attention. For me, to do this as someone to get someone's attention, it's very derogatory, and it's very, especially if it's to a woman, to do this. Other places that's not ill-mannered, and I'm not judging anyone because there's things that we might do that seem strange. For example, I can't remember if I asked one of my Serbian friends or one of my Russian friends, but I said to them, oh, is it true, like, it's like not normal to just smile? And they said, yeah, it's not normal to just be smiling for no reason because you look like a crazy person. Like, it's not normal to be like this all the time. And it's so true. It's so true. It's actually, just because someone doesn't smile at you doesn't mean they're rude and they're horrible or they have a resting bee face. Like, I'm sorry, but to walk around like this all the time, it's like, it's giving you just came out of the rehabilitation center, you know? Like, it's not normal to have a smile fixed on your face the whole time. And actually, I agree with that process of thinking, because I'm sorry, but why, even me, my face is very monotone, my voice is very monotone, and people perceive me as being rude or aggressive. That's my favorite one. She's so aggressive, she's so rude, she's this, she's that, and it's like, no, this is just my voice. I have a deep voice, and I don't move my face just because I don't. I remember when I was younger, I watched a video of Jeffree Star, and he said he doesn't move his face. Like, he trained himself to not move his face, and that's how he still looks so young. Obviously, I don't know if he's had any other procedures. He may, because he can afford to get procedures if he really wanted to. I'm sorry, in the workplace, yeah, we do have to smile and be polite, but in the real world, no, I'm not going to just greet strangers and greet everyone on the street. No, hashtag stranger danger, especially if you live in the Western world. Hashtag stranger danger. Especially if you're good looking, you're financially stable, or you just look like you're put together. You look like you've got a good head on your shoulders, you carry yourself well, you've got good posture, shoulders back. People will naturally, because it's in our nature to judge, let me not lie, it's in our nature to judge and stereotype and just assume things. For example, you might see someone with curly hair and think, oh, her mum's got curly hair, she got that from her mum. For example, let's say, oh, wow, he's very tall, his dad must have been tall, something like that. Like, you automatically, or if you see someone muscly, you automatically think, wow, they're very strong, they must go to the gym. You don't know if they went to the gym or not, you know? It could be steroids for all you know. But let's not talk about that. And I'm really happy that I came to this realization sooner. And I have to show this video that will explain it very well, because I'm a very friendly person. I'm very because it's just in our nature. Like, us North Africans, we're very open. One person's at the tables eating, everyone's eating, even if you're not hungry. In our nature, it's in our nature to be very giving and kind. Especially if you're watching this as a woman, it's in our nature to be, you know, well, it's not in everyone's nature. I have some friends who, they don't have the motherly instinct at all. They don't have this motherly nature at all. They do not want kids. They just don't have it in them. But one day they might, one day when they meet the right person, or maybe they won't. It's not the goal to get married and have kids in life. We're living in 2024. You're not a failure if you don't have kids and if you're not married. Even my mum, she would tell me this. She would say, why do you, because I used to want to get married and have babies really young. But now that my prefrontal cortex has developed, I realized that I was conditioned to think that way because of my father. My father was in his 60s when he had me, and he always used to say to me, like, I want to see you get married one day, I want to see you have kids, I'd like to see you walk down the aisle, etc, etc. And because I kept hearing that, I conditioned myself into thinking I need to get married young and have kids young. Now, if you ask me to get married young and have, okay, I would get married young, but have kids young, unless it happens, it happens. If I'm married, okay, I'm not going to fight against God's will if it happens and I'm married, let's say. But the social norms in the Western world is very normal, or even actually not even the Western world. There's a lot of villages and countries where people have kids very young, they get married very young, they buy houses very young. Like, I don't use Facebook, but if I do randomly go on there to check like the crew pages and layover tips and whatever, my age mate's having a baby, one of my age mates is buying a house with their partner, you know, couple things. I just say, you don't need a partner to reach these milestones. I know it's easier, perhaps if you go 50-50, which I don't agree with because of my beliefs and my culture. That's just me. I'm not judging anyone who does go 50-50. Yeah. Of course it's going to be easier if you have a partner and you go 50-50 on the mortgage. Of course it's going to be quicker. Of course, if you're sharing a car, you'll probably be able to get the Lamborghini Urus instead of the Jeep Wrangler Sahara, because you split it by two. But can I just say, you don't need someone to fulfill your life. You don't need someone to get a house. You can get your own house. Actually, it's better, because I've met a lot of people who, they bought a house with their partner, they split ways, and it was a headache. It was the biggest headache, because not only now do you have to go through a breakup, you have to see this person, you have to go through this paperwork of the selling the house and etc, etc. Me personally, I cannot think of anything worse after trying to get rid of someone, going through a divorce, and then having to see their face. One thing about me is I very much believe in out of sight, out of mind. once I remove you from my life, I want you to stay removed. I don't like this, you know, people thinking they can have access into my life. No. If you didn't know how to behave the first time round, I'm not going to give you a chance to show me that you cannot behave the second time round. If someone shows you their true colours the first time, believe them. Believe them. Like, stop making excuses for people. And this is not just for men. This is not just when it comes to men, also women. If you're a guy watching this and you keep seeing red flags or like tendencies, you know, that you don't like, why are you going to give them a baby and then live with that for the rest of your life? Once you have a baby with someone, that person is attached to you through your offspring, through their DNA. That's both of your DNA and your offspring for life. Now you have to deal with this person for the rest of your life. No, thank you. This is why I'm very much a big advocate for celibacy, because guess what? Celibacy and waiting till marriage is the best form of protection. The best form of protection. And people don't want to listen to me. My friends, when I tell them this, well, a lot of my friends were all the same, like, we have the same beliefs anyway, so we don't really disagree on that anyway. But I do have some friends who don't have that same belief, and I tell them, and they're like, oh, but I'm not like the same, like, I don't come from the same culture as you. And it's like, you don't have to come from the same culture as me, darling. You're allowed to revoke your access to people. Your body's a temple. You cannot be giving a baby to anyone. These men, they can spread their seed. They can have multiple children all over the world if they wanted to, and not have to reap the consequences of it if they're not responsible. Do you really want that? I'm sorry, darling, you will most likely be responsible for your offspring, because you're the one who's going to have that bond, that connection with the child. When the child, you know, when you go into labor, you're holding the baby, you're doing the skin to skin contact. I'm sorry to say, but do you want to be doing that with someone who's not going to care about you, who's not going to hold your hand through the labor, who's not going to be there to support you mentally, financially? I'm sorry, but like, oh, I don't want to keep talking on this because people get really triggered. But ladies, don't just get married for the sake of getting married. Don't just have a baby for the sake of having a baby. You can have a baby in your 30s. I've seen people have a baby in their 40s. I remember at one point I wanted to freeze my eggs because I came to the conclusion where I was like, I'm not going to entertain anyone seriously anytime soon. I'm not like settling for these hooligans. I've removed myself from the dating market because I was like, I'm not being a participant. I'm sorry, I'm not being one of Pavlov's dogs. I'm not one of Pavlov's dogs. And I'm not involved in the experiment because I'm not giving you consent to involve me in your hooliganism and your shenanigans. So, and that's another thing, ladies. If you feel like just the guys that you're attracting are just hooligans, not giving demure or very mindful or cutesy, remove yourself from the dating scene. Or maybe you need to change where you're going. I'm sorry, but I know some girls, they're so attractive and so like driven in life and ambitious, and they've got a very good head on their shoulders, they've got a good career, and it's like, why are you hanging around in the ghetto? Why are you chilling in the ghetto and crying when you don't have Prince Charming? I'm sorry, I've said this before, Elon Musk and Jeffrey Bezos are not coming to collect you from Tape and Libertine. They're not coming to collect you from Tape and Libertine. And I want to break this to you, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are not going to collect you from the ghetto either. Yes, you see these stories of someone being a waitress and then they served a rich man and they whisked them off into the sunset and they rode off on the horse together. Yes, that is the exception. One lady I love on TikTok, Bets, she says, yes, that there is an exception to the rule. Don't think you are the exception to the rule. There's always going to be an anomaly. Yes, it happens, but are you going to wait for that to happen? No. Do things for yourself. Get your own car, get your own mortgage, get your own assets. You don't need to wait for a man to come in your life to buy you a car, to buy you a house, to buy you a handbag. You can do that yourself. If you're not happy with your job, you're young, you can leave. Even if you're not young, you can still leave. In your 20s are not for finding your Prince Charming and settling down. Actually, in fact, your life in general is not for finding your Prince Charming to whisk you off into the sunset. I'm really sorry. But once you realise this and once you devalue and decenter men from your life, life is so fun, guys. My life became so peaceful and happy when I didn't have anyone trying to jump on my back and, you know, beg me for their attention. I'm sorry, but I cannot like do this. Sorry, I'm going off topic. Here's a video.
When someone asks you what you do for a living, they're really calculating how much respect they should give you. And when someone asks you where you live, They're probing to see whether you're wealthy or not. During a meal with more than 3 people, never speak private matters. During a meal with more than 5 people, never speak business. And never discuss your past with close friends, because close friends also have other close friends. And people who speak together, eat together. And guess what's the topic?
It is so true. I moved from England many moons ago. And still my friends from England are telling me the tea. I know people's business who I don't know them from Adam and Eve, but because my friends are friends with them and mutuals, etc, etc, I know their business. I know whether or not they've broken up with their partner, whether or not they're still living in London. They're my friends' friends. And I don't even ask. It's just like, oh yeah, I was with so-and-so the other day, they just split up with their boyfriend and we went out. And it's like, not like I care for anyone's business at all. People are always G-checking you, whether that's socially, financially. They want to see what social class you are. They want to see how wealthy you are. They want to see what you've got about you, unfortunately. Personally, I could not care less. I could not care less about anyone's social class, financial situation. As long as you're not affecting me and my life, I could not care less. As long as no one affects my health, my peace, and my wealth, you do what you want to do behind closed doors in your house, and I will do what I want to do behind closed doors in my house. Don't let anyone tell you why this, why that. I put diesel in my own car. So before you open your beak to tell me why, close your beak, go and pay your mortgage, go and mind your own, go and get your ducks in a row. I always tell this to girls, get your ducks in a row, have your own. Because when you have your own and when you have your ducks in a row, who can come and disorganize your ducks? Who can come and disorganize your ducks? No one. So if a mother hen is walking and all of her ducklings are in a row, or a mother swan is walking and all of her swans are following behind her, you did that by yourself, because you are the mother hen, you are the swan, you are the elegant swan. Why do you think it's illegal? Okay, I don't know if it's illegal in every country, but in England it's definitely illegal to kill a swan because it's protected by the Queen. There's animals that are protected by the Queen. What happens now? Are they now protected by the king, now that the late Queen has passed? I guess they're protected by the king, but back in my day, they was protected by the Queen. Why do you think it's illegal to kill a swan? Because it's not allowed, because they're protected. You have to protect yourself financially, physically, and mentally. Have your ducks in a row. If you don't, it's okay. It doesn't take long to get your ducks in a row. It just takes forming healthy habits. One amazing book, guys, I need to recommend. I have a list where you can just go and buy the books, because once you read these books, you actually realize, oh, guys, this book actually helped me with my languages. And it's not a language book, it's a habit book. Where is it? Can't find it because I need to get a bookshelf. Currently, all of my books and stuff is underneath my TV stand, like in my TV stand closet, whatever it's called. There's this book called Atomic Habits. Read that book. It is amazing. That was a game changer for me, because I'm very much, I have 100 thoughts in my mind all the time. Or like I'll be going to sleep and I'm like, oh, I need to do the washing, I need to take the chicken out of the freezer, I need to do this and this. That book really helped me develop healthy habits, even though I already had healthy habits, but I just felt like I was getting very lazy. It's very easy when you move to Dubai to get lazy and order food and get a maid and get a cleaner. And my New Year's resolution for this year, in the beginning of the year, was to clean my own house. And for some people that might be absolutely ridiculous. You might call me a snob, you might call me like lazy and horrendous, whatever. But for me, it was mentally challenging and stressful to clean my own house, because I had so many other things to do and I had so many other priorities, that for me, booking a cleaner on Just Live on the app and the cleaner coming was easier than me doing it myself. And also, before this, I lived in a bigger apartment. This apartment's only a 1-bed. Before, I lived in a 2-bed. So I was like, it was overwhelming. I had to romanticize it. I had to like get the products. I had to like actually start to enjoy cleaning and start off small, you know. And because in the beginning, when I started cleaning myself, I was stressing myself out, and I was like, I said to my friends, guys, I cannot do this anymore. Like, I've been doing well and I've not got a cleaner yet, but I don't think I can do it. And they was like, oh, I'll get a cleaner. And then eventually I realized, oh, you don't have to clean your house every day. Guys, I was cleaning my house every day, like full on clean. Now I've actually realized you only really need to do a deep clean once every week, and then just clean as you go. So if you cook with the hob, just clean the hob after you've used it. When you do the dishes, just clean the dishes after you used it, or whilst the pasta is cooking, quickly do them. Also got a different mop. I don't like them old-fashioned horrid mops that like take forever to dry. I got one of those flat, you know, those mops. It takes no time to dry. I got myself the mop slippers because it used to annoy me when I'd see the marks of the shoes. Now it doesn't stress me out to clean because I had to build that habit. But before I didn't have that habit because I was so used to having everything done for me. The cleaner would change the bed sheets, she would do everything. And now I'm actually, because I actually clean my own home, and even my mum said this to me, she said, because I wanted to book a cleaner, I gave up and I was like, no, I want to book a cleaner. She said, no, clean your own house. When you clean your own house, good things come to you. And it's so true. When you're disciplined in this life, yeah, how can you not succeed? If your goal, how can you not achieve it? You know, you're disciplined and you know the steps to get there. Just take action. Sometimes all it takes for you is just to get the mop and mop. Then you're in the mood. Sometimes all it takes is for you to put on a podcast or put on a video or Netflix for you to hoover, or put in your AirPods, and then khalas, it's done within an hour. Read the book Atomic Habits, guys. That's another thing. You need to read books, and you need to realize these psychological games people are playing with you or G-checking you, yeah? So even earlier, I went to the petrol station, and the guy who was filling my petrol, and by the way, I'm not saying anything bad, by the way. So basically this guy was like, oh, I need your keys to open the petrol cap. So he took my keys and he's like, oh, this is a new car, isn't it? Very nice. How much did you pay for it? And this is another thing, guys. I find it very like overwhelming when people ask so many personal questions. Obviously, I'm a crew, so in crew life, in the crew world, it's very normal to ask all of these questions because you very rarely fly with the same people twice. So you'll meet someone for the first time operating a flight together, and the conversation is literally not in the normal world, in the normal workplace. You will eventually find out that someone's married and how many kids they have, and you know, and their lifestyle and their hobbies, what they like to do, and on their days off, and you get to know their personality, you get to know their character, their lifestyle. But for some reason, when you're in the major cities, Dubai, London, Paris, whatever, people, I'm sorry to say this, I don't feel this way about Dubai, but I'm really sorry to say this, London is very much a dog-eat-dog world. Because when I go back to the countryside, I do not have this weird feeling of everyone G-checking me. But even in Manchester, I never really felt like that. But my favourite city in England, if I have to name one, is Manchester. I love that place with my whole heart. Yes, I might be biased, but... So this guy that was asking me how much my car was, he's filling my petrol, I was kind of like taken aback, but I answered him. I was just polite and nice because I don't want to be rude. However, I have a friend and I kind of want to be more like her. I have a friend, she's like about to turn 30, and I think it's because she's about to turn 30, she's very mature, carries herself very well. And like when people approach her and ask very personal questions, she flips it on them. Like if someone says, oh, where are you from? You look very nice. She'll say, oh, where are you from? Where do you come from? And she'll just change the topic of conversation. And this is an art that I need to master because I'm very friendly, you know, I'm an East Midlands girl. You ask me how old I am, I will tell you. You ask me anything, I will tell you. However, now I'm coming to a point in life where I'm just like, people are not asking these questions to be nice. And some are, of course some are, like, but you will know the vibe. When you have the vibe of the friendly vibes, you will know. When you have the bit like strange, nosy Parker vibes, you will know. So, like in England, it was not normal to ask someone, oh, what's your salary? How much did you pay for your car? How much did you pay for your house? La la la, unless you're in the process of doing it yourself. For example, if one of my friends wanted to buy the same car as me, and they wanted to sell their car and get my car, they'd be like, is it worth getting that one that's better for off-roading? And I would tell them, yeah, get the 5-door, get the off-roading if you do off-roading. If not, then khalas, get the whatever. That I don't mind when people are genuinely asking because they want to do something. However, a lot of people are not asking because they want to do something, asking because they have good, genuine intentions, unfortunately. Just because you are clean-hearted doesn't mean everybody is clean-hearted. just because you are from the East Midlands or Yorkshire or Manchester or whatever, and that you're a naturally friendly, approachable person, doesn't mean anyone, Tom, Dick and Harry, can approach you and think it's acceptable to treat you anyway. This is why you need to have very strong boundaries. And when the guy was asking me these questions at the petrol station, I was just thinking afterwards, I was thinking, and I always say this to myself, if I was a man, how would that interaction have gone? Because I know for a fact that individual, they would not have approached a man and said, how much was that car? Oh, what do you do for work? This is what I'll never understand. Like, people ask me what my parents do for a living. Oh, so what did your dad do? Oh, so what does your mum do? Oh, are your parents retired? Oh, so where does your mum live? Oh, so do you see your family in Egypt? Oh, whereabouts do your family live in Egypt? I'm sorry, but I don't see men being asked these questions. Not in the environments I'm in, because the environments I'm in, no one would dare to ask these kinds of men these questions. So this is why, like a lot of people say I'm in my masculine, I would rather be in my masculine in these scenarios with the nosy Parkers and the monitoring spirits and protect my peace and protect my energy than be telling my business to every Tom, Dick and Harry. I'm not going to lie. When I would go on shoots, I would be chatty patty. And that boy, he's so cute and OMG. Now, if I was going to go on a shoot, unless I know you, I'm not going to be telling everyone my business, yeah? You will know when you're in a certain circle and you feel comfortable to talk about certain things. However, there's some people who, they wish they could have what you have and they are preying on your downfall. Even one time I remember, like, I had to get an eSIM for my Apple Watch, and the guy was so rude, very bad customer service, and he starts telling my private information, yeah, in front of everyone. And listen, before anyone says, oh, it's not that deep, your private information, yes it is. Hashtag Data Protection Act 1998, yeah? You're not supposed to go and be telling top secret company insider information. It's actually illegal. You're not supposed to be spreading a paying customer's address and name and company they work for. Because listen guys, I've had a stalker before. This is why I'm very, very, like, learnt the hard way. I never used to post this stuff anyway, but I ended up having a stalker when I lived in Tottenham Hale. A stalker is no fun in games. It's no fun in games. He tried to kidnap me. I did that story time on my TikTok if you want to see. He tried to kidnap me. My friend came to the rescue with her dog, thank God. This is why you have to protect yourself. This is why sometimes you have to be a scary girl sometimes and you have to be unapproachable. Doesn't mean people are not going to approach you, but unfortunately we have to have, you know, self-defense mechanisms in place. If you're a woman, actually not even if you're a woman, if you're anyone watching this, I highly suggest you do a sport that is very, you know, will teach you how to fight back and defend yourself if you need to. God forbid, worst case scenario. I would highly recommend boxing, taking boxing classes. I would highly recommend doing jiu-jitsu, karate, any kickboxing, anything. If you need to drop kick a heifer, you can drop kick that heifer. Listen, when you're in school, okay, whatever, you have a scrap on the playground, cool. But I'm sorry, as a grown adult, I am not going to be in certain environments where someone can even provoke me or agitate me or start a fight or scrap with me, because I'm a lady and that is not classy to be scrapping with people. It's very like ghetto. I'm sorry. I moved away from London a very long time ago. But one thing I noticed, I would never get in fights with girls in London. It was guys, like guys who think they could approach me and do anything they wanted. And when I was younger, I was very defensive. I was always like very reactive, very hyper reactive. Now I don't have to be like that, thank God, because I live in the Middle East. So yeah, if you're a woman, just leave the Western world and go to the Middle East, because like I saw this quote the other day saying, if you hear a woman saying she's walking alone at night, just know that she's in the Middle East. It's so true. Just know that she's in the Emirates and she's in the Middle East. Because you cannot walk alone at night in England. You cannot leave your car open in England. You cannot leave your house open in England. Well, you can if you want to get robbed, if you want to get ransacked, if you want to get killed. Sorry, I'm so sorry, but people like keep trying to say, Maya, England, when you come to England, darling, what do you mean when am I coming to England? When are you coming to Dubai? Come to Dubai and you will never go back. When you come to Dubai, you will never go back, darling.
Я в Лондоні, дядя. Ти бачив це? Це Лондон, дядя. Кінг Крос. Центр, Лондон. Подписуйся.
See, London, King's Cross. I know what language he's speaking. I can tell he's saying this is London, King's Cross for you. Nothing wrong with having a chicken on your head. Maybe he's saving it for later. I will never judge anyone. Maybe he's going to cook a lovely, lovely roast dinner with that chicken later. Speaking of roast dinners, I need to finish this and wrap this up because I'm going for a roast dinner in exactly 1 hour and a half, and I want to do 10 laps in the pool before I go. Be careful of these people who are always G-checking you, and I would also suggest to stay away from these environments. I'll have to do another video with my friend Eric on how to, you know, divert the topic, because I have not mastered the art of flipping the question on them yet. I haven't, because I'm very friendly, because I don't like it how people think they can just approach women and ask all these questions, and I don't mind answering them if you're within my circle, you're my close friend. But and I'm not looking down on anyone, I never will, but I came to a realization where I had to surround myself with more like-minded people and or above, because if you don't surround yourself with like-minded people or above, and I'm not even talking about finances, I'm talking about the mindset. If you're a positive person, people always say that I'm very positive, but I just think this is normal, because how can I not be positive? I'm so blessed. God bless me so much. How can I complain? There's people in the world who wish they could have the food that you have in your fridge, who wish they could have a roof over their head that you have, who wish they could even have a vehicle. I'm very grateful because I know how blessed I am. At the same time, the same way God blessed you is the same way you can lose it all. I've witnessed this with people in my family. You're not anyone's therapist. The only person you can save in this life is yourself. If you surround yourself with people who are always in the victim mindset, the victim mentality, small village mentality, nothing wrong with being from a small village. I am from a small village and I love it. I love going back to visit and being with nature. However, whilst you're young, I would highly suggest you travel the world. Even if you cannot travel the world, get a job abroad. You are young, you can afford to move. You can afford to leave that job who's mistreating you. When you have children, and when you get to a point in life where you have a lot of responsibilities, it's not going to be as easy to move your whole life abroad. Can you do it? Yes, but you're going to have to move 3 kids and your car and sell your house, etc., etc. It's not easy when you have kids and a husband and a life, you know. Realize that people are always G-checking you, whether they're doing it with intention or not. Do not tell your business. 2 things I will never post on social media, like I said before, because of the stalker situation, is my home and my vehicle. You'll never see me post my vehicle or my home. You might see this, you might see the curtains, you might see me in the kitchen, you might see me doing the videos inside. You're never going to see the outside of my friends' posts. You might see, I'm not going to say to my friends, oh, don't post inside my house, don't post my car. No, I don't really care, you know. When you show you've got what you've got, and you don't have to be wealthy, by the way. You showing what you've got could be you having your hair down. You showing what you've got could be you putting makeup on and showing your slim figure or your curvaceous figure. People are jealous of things you cannot even imagine. You might have long hair and someone might be looking at you like, oh, I wish I had that long hair. You might have a new toaster and someone might be jealous of your new toaster because they wish they could have that colour toaster and it wasn't in stock when they went to Argos, you know. I've seen people be jealous of the most ridiculous things, and it's like, darling, green is not an attractive colour on you. Green is not an attractive colour. Green with envy is not an attractive colour. I'm sorry. Be aware of these jealous people. A lot of people in your life, they're probably jealous and trying to bring you down mentally, spiritually, physically, and you don't even realise it. And I said this to a girl. One girl come to my TikTok like, oh, when I tell women this, they come for me now, blah, blah, blah. When you elevate your life, when you get your new car, when you get your new house, your new job, you get a promotion at work, I don't know, you could even be happy in life. Being happy in life is enough for people to be jealous. Being attractive, being well-mannered and being nice is enough for people to be jealous, you know. When you elevate in your life is a journey, and not everyone is moving at the same pace as your journey, and it is not your fault and it's not your job to encourage people on their journey, because only yourself as an individual can help yourself move along your journey and your vision and your path and your life goals. You cannot help a damsel who loves her distress. I'm not going to lie, guys, I had 1 or 2 people in my life who they love to be the damsel in distress. I slowly removed them from my life because they was not adding any value to my life. I don't care if you don't add value to my life, but don't remove from my life. You know, don't let people take from your cup just because. Healing is like when they have a wine glass and there's wine, they fill it with water, and then the red wine will start to go pink, or then eventually it runs clear. Your glass may be half full, but you're pouring into people's glasses when you don't have enough for yourself. You need enough water for yourself to survive, not to feed everyone else's mouth. Once your mouth is full, once your glass is full and overflowing, you will have the capacity and you'll have the ability to help others. Yeah, this is why help yourself. Even, I'll never forget, I'm so happy for him. I remember, guys, I'm so blessed. When I first started flying, I met a lot of really clocked on individuals who, you know, they got the mortgage within 2 years, everything they wanted from life, and they was advising me. And this is why I'm now advising you, whether you're a new crew, whether you're not a crew, whether you're a woman, because I would not have this mentality be so, like, my eyes would not be so opened if it wasn't for having these conversations with these individuals who had these conversations with me. Like the girl who sat me down and told me how she got her mortgage. Bit by bit, she told me how she got her mortgage, how she saved for her mortgage, what she did and didn't do, credit cards, etc, etc. Because when I was new in Dubai, I didn't know how mortgages worked. I didn't know how how it worked to get a vehicle and stuff. So it was these people who helped me. And one of the guys who I had a conversation with, he's about to be a published author, by the way. He's amazing. He's about to become a supervisor. He said to me, don't send money back home. Listen, this might sound crazy, yeah? And to be honest, my family, thank God, my family are blessed. They don't need to ask me for money. If I want to send them money for their birthday, that's fine. If I don't, and only want to get them a present, that's also fine. However, I know a lot of crew who send the whole salary back home, which is okay. Some crew who do this, who send the whole salary back home, is because they're buying their parents a house, their parents are buying a house, and they are setting up their life for when they go back to that country. However, if you move country and everyone from back home is telling you, and for me it's not family, for me it's friends. I had some friends, guys, I had one friend ask me for 15 grand once upon a time. And it's like, I'm so confused.com when I want a mortgage of such, you know, after hundreds of thousands of pounds, I go to the bank and say, may I have a mortgage, you know, and I put a down payment. Whereas other people, they're not in that mentality and they do not have the capacity to go to the bank and say, can I have a loan? Can I have an auto loan? Can I have a mortgage? They want to use the people around them. They want to use the resources around them. That's okay if you're an angel investor. I'm not an angel investor. I am currently investing in myself and my life, and I refuse to give when all people do is take. You cannot let people take, because guess what? You will be left with nothing. And everyone is at a certain point in life and you're thinking, why is no one here for me when I was there for everyone? I gave everyone money. I did this for everyone. No one told you to do that. People have said this to me myself when I used to lend a lot of people money. They'd say, well, I didn't ask you to do that. When I'd ask for it back, oh, ask my mum if you want it. And I was like, what do you mean ask your mum? We're fully grown adults and you're asking me to ask your mum to give you money back that you asked from me. Honestly, sometimes I meet people and I'm like, you are literally a child trapped in an adult's body. When it comes to your responsibilities, that's your responsibilities. You have to take care of your own. You have to take care of your own ducks, even if you don't have any baby ducklings yet, your imaginary ducks. Think of your future. When someone comes and asks you for money and you know they won't give it back, before you're quick to give them, remember, as quick as you are to give them, they will not be quick to give it back. Only lend money if you are happy to part ways with that and not see it back. You're not a bank. It's not your duty and it's not your responsibility to be giving everyone loans. One of my friends, he's just got into pilot school and he's training to become a pilot, and he asked for his father for his loan, and I think his father is even making him pay interest. I can't remember, you know, very Dutch. And actually, I wish I did that. Back when I used to be the Bank of Rothwell, I wish I did that, because I could tell you for free, I'd have a Lamborghini Urus sat outside my house right now if I did that. But I was very naive, I was young, I was too kind for my own good. Now I'm still kind. My mum always told me, don't be bad just because other people are bad. I'm not going to be bad and act out of character just because other people have poor character, you know? But that's why I'm telling you, you need to have boundaries. no, I cannot, I do not have the means to give you 15 grand right now because I have to pay my mortgage, unfortunately, sorry. Guys, do you know how many people wanted to rent my car when I moved to Dubai? And my mum kept saying no, and I actually had an argument with my mum, and now I look back, thank God I didn't, because these people, they didn't want to do it the proper way on pen and paper. They wanted to do it, you know, verbally over a handshake, rent my car and send me, you know, 300, 400 quid a month to drive my car. And it's like, how do I know you're not going to trash my vehicle? How do I know you're not going to use my number plate and get speeding tickets and get points and do all of this nonsense? How do I know you're going to insure yourself my car? Now looking back, I'm so glad that I didn't let anyone rent my car, because a few people tried this, like, please, please, begging me. So happy I didn't, because one person, he literally had points on his license, had his license taken off him, and he's like, what do you mean rent my car to you? Go to the dealership, go to the car dealership and rent a car, because no car dealership will say, oh yeah, golden handshake, here's your car, just transfer me every month. No, it's going to be on pen and paper through a company, through a financing company, who if you miss a payment, they're going to chase you. But these people knew that I wouldn't chase them because I'd be too busy in Dubai. Now on, you're going to have boundaries, and you're going to have boundaries in place. And I'm really sorry to break this to you, but once you reach a certain point in life, and once you have boundaries and you start to learn how to say no and not be a yes man or a yes woman, you are going to lose people in your life. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. You are going to lose people. When I stopped going out clubbing, some people in my life who said, oh no, she's boring. She's boring now. She doesn't go out. She doesn't want to do this. And it's like, let them call you boring. Okay, if I'm boring because I don't enjoy being preyed on by men like a piece of meat. One time I was out, this guy literally picked me up and put me on his table. I was walking like this, he picked me up and put me in VIP on his table. And it's like, I'm not complaining, it was, at the time it was funny, you know, I was young, I was like tiny, and he picked my friend up, because I'm not a dolly, like, back then it was funny because I was a teenager. Sorry, you're not going to pick me up unless you're my husband. I stopped going out clubbing and said, look, I don't want to be in establishments where people are drinking alcohol. Like, guys, I don't mind a beach club. I don't mind certain establishments where people are not going to come up to you and scream and shout in your ear. Guys, I've had barrow trauma so many times. I don't want people shouting in my ear. What's your name? It's just like, they sound like a radio. It sounds like a broken record. It's so boring. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, wow, look at you. You're amazing. Okay, wow. Yeah, I know I'm amazing. I know I'm good looking. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know my name is Maya. I know my age. I don't need to tell you my age, blah, 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 and tell you my whole life story. Yeah? Unless I want to tell you my life story, then I will. Point where I realized I don't want to be around certain people. I don't want to be in certain establishments with certain individuals. And that's not me being snobby, it's me having boundaries, because I am uncomfortable in these settings. I'm uncomfortable with loads of people jumping on me like a hyena and eating me like a whale carcass. I am not a whale carcass. You're not just going to rip the flesh off of me. Guys, it's actually like embarrassing. And I'm a very stable person within myself, but when I enter these establishments, you would think I was a soldier, because the way I walk, guys, I don't run, but when I'm in an establishment like this, I run. My friend came to Dubai and was like, oh yeah, let's meet at 5. And I was like, already I started to get annoyed. I was like, look, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there, like, no offense, but I don't want to go there. And then there's like, oh no, we're not going to stay there. Just come because I'm here now, and then we're going to walk and go to like a restaurant nearby, because there's like restaurants, you walk out, there's restaurants nearby. And I was like, okay. And I had a mood. I had a face like thunder. I had a mood. I'm sorry, I had a mood, because this person knows that I don't like being in places like this, and still said, meet me here. And it's like, okay, whatever. So I walked through this establishment, and guys, I was walking so fast because I didn't want anyone to approach me. I said, you need to walk towards me. All of these guys was like this, hi, oh, what's your name, blah, 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 trying to smother me, because my friend was actually there and was like, I just seen you, Maya. Why are you running? Like, I saw you walking really fast. I don't like being in places like this. I'm on a chill vibe. Like, I'll come and catch up with you later. And I went and spoke to her later, but I didn't stay because they went somewhere else. My friend burst out laughing and said, Maya, I've never seen anything like that. now I understand. Like, that is crazy. I've never seen anything like that. And I was like, yeah, because that's not normal. That behavior is only normal in those kinds of places. Like the places I go to, like coffee shops or restaurants or, you know, Pilates, no one is doing that like a lion and you're a zebra that they're about to eat. Places where they're able to do that, of course they're going to do that, because who's stopping them? It's in their nature after all, you know. They are born hunters. Well, once upon a time they was born hunters. Cannot speak for now in this generation, but yeah, you cannot be everyone's savior. I've said this in another video before. If you want to be at a certain level in life, certain people have to go. Stay away from the professional vampires, what as my friend would like to call them, professional vampires. Some people, there's a reason why you feel drained once you've left an interaction with certain individuals, because their energy, they are on E. Their tank is empty. So after their interaction with you, they feel elevated, they feel uplifted. However, you'll feel like you've been sucked the life out of, sucked your energy out of you. They drain the life out of you. If you don't believe in this whole energy thing, then go and study science. Go and study science. It's true, we are all atoms. Everything, we are all atoms vibrating. Yeah, every single object, we are all atoms that are vibrating. Even your Wi-Fi is like wavelengths doing this for you to be connected on your phone watching me right now. It's wavelengths. Some people, they operate on a low wavelength. Yeah, they're operating at 10,000 feet, close to the terrain. I'm about to do a crash landing into the forest. You are operating at 40,000 feet. Your energy is so high, your frequency is so high, and these people, they will drain you. I'm going to leave that here because I would like to go for a swim and go for a roast dinner. Sorry guys, priorities. Love you all so much. Have an amazing, lovely day and take care and goodbye.